Hello and a very warm welcome to In Conversation. I want to start today by touching upon something that we all have experienced in our daily lives. There are times when we feel very low and we also feel that our world is falling apart. But no matter how low you are feeling today or have felt in the past, there is one person whose very thought can lift your spirits because of his never say die attitude. He has truly changed the word impossible to I am possible. He's 17 years old, Sparsh Shah. He's wheelchair bound. He was born with a rare and incurable brittle bones disorder, which means that his bones are extremely fragile. But he is totally unfazed by that. He's a singer, songwriter, rapper, inspirational speaker, and an internet sensation. His zeal, enthusiasm, grit, determination, and self-belief can move mountains.
To take a stand, everybody come take my hand, walk this road together through the storm.
I have osteogenesis imperfecta, and that is a rare, incurable genetic disorder that causes a person's bones to be very fragile. You know, I've broken my bones doing the most ordinary things, like putting a bit too much extra weight on my arm, or just trying to stretch sometimes. In fact, children, they die, most of them do not see the first year of their life. I don't view disability as even an obstacle. All those reasons that you have for not being able to do what you want to do in life should instead be your reasons to keep on doing it. Just like I viewed my disability as a stepping stone, we should just realize that the greater our goals, the greater the obstacles will be. I'm driven to change impossible into I'm possible and help others do it too.
Welcome, Sparsh, to Doordarshan. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here too on In Conversation with Doordarshan. My mom, my parents, everyone I know is older to me, they've always told me about how they grew up watching Doordarshan. So now to be here, I feel like it's such an amazing full circle. So I'm glad to be here today. Thank you.
That's what we say. Doordarshan is in our DNA in India.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I guess now it's in my DNA too.
Okay. Well, even today, Sparsh, you have a broken arm, but you are unstoppable and you've so graciously agreed for this interview. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm blessed through it all. Thank you for asking, Munmunji. The fracture definitely hurts, but that's of course normal, and I'm learning every day to manage the pain and continue on my road to recovery.
It's amazing, Sparsh, that you've seen so many ups and downs in the 17 years of your life, but you're totally unfazed by that. You know, people tend to complain about the smallest of things. They complain about spots on their faces, the minor fights that they have, and about all things they don't have. But here you are, totally exalted by your circumstances, which others see as you've been dealt an undeniably bad hand. So how do you do that?
It's very interesting that you describe it as you were dealt an undeniably bad hand. And I say that because it reminds me of that saying, you can't change the cards you're dealt, just how you play the hand. And so I believe that every situation and circumstance in our lives is really placed in there for a distinct purpose that nobody else can fulfill, because only we are equipped to handle those situations and circumstances. So in other words, I believe that our situations and circumstances don't exist to destroy us, but to strengthen us. And once anyone understands this principle, they will automatically have the faith and the grit, which is the combination of passion and perseverance, to overcome any and every obstacle in life with a smiling face.
We can see the inspirational speaker that Sparsh is here. You started taking music lessons at the age of 6, and that's when most kids are not even introduced to music. And that's now 11 years of you learning music. How did your journey start in music?
Yeah, I've been singing ever since I could speak, and as a baby, I would hum along to every single song that would play in our car. So like most people, my parents, they would also start singing or humming if they knew a song and they liked it. But this is where it gets interesting, Munmunji. I started noticing when they were off pitch and even started correcting them. And that's when my parents realized that not only was my musical sense uncanny, but it was a gift. It was more than some mere hobby or inclination. However, I once saw this quote on the back of my friend's shirt that read, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." So my point here is that without my 11 years and counting of musical training, I wouldn't be nearly as good as I am today. So I've been learning Hindustani classical singing from the Mewati Gharana under the Pandit Jasraj Institute of Music since the age of 6. I've been learning rap myself since the age of 9, although I didn't take it seriously until the age of 12, and I can tell you a little bit more about that later. I've been learning solo Western singing and piano since around the age of 10, and I've been learning choir singing from the age of 11 until about last year. So I mention this because all of the training in various styles of music, they not only made me more versatile, but they also gave me more appreciation for music as a truly universal language.
Absolutely, and you say your parents say you're incredibly gifted, your fans also feel the same. What is music to you, Sparsh?
Well, I always like to tell people that my connection to music is a lot like two best friends who grew up together. In essence, basically, music is more than my soulmate. It is my soul. It's the core of my purpose. It's my primary passion. And I don't think I would be the person I am today without music. It's lifted me up in my lowest days and taught me to see the beauty in every aspect of the world and the universe that we live in. And that's why I once said that if, as Galileo once mused, mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe, then I think music is God's heartbeat.
So how did your big breakthrough happen of your cover of Eminem's Not Afraid?
It started when I was browsing through YouTube one night, about 4 years ago, and I saw Not Afraid in my search results, and I just had this feeling that maybe I'd heard this song before. I don't know why, but I decided to listen to it anyway. And this was a total revolution for me, because until this point, I had almost always avoided mainstream rap because of its focus on very mature and immoral themes, and those are basically the antithesis of the family values I grew up with. But I listened to the song the whole way through, curses and all, and I realized something. Hip-hop is not always the devil's music. And the one thing I couldn't stop thinking about is that this song not only has a positive message, but also a positive story. And I found out that Eminem wrote it right after almost dying of a drug overdose. And he wrote the song to encourage other people too. So I knew I wanted to cover this song, but I decided that in keeping with my values, I would not use any curses in this rendition. So I told my mom and dad about the idea, and they encouraged me. They were a little hesitant at first, but they encouraged me. And after a couple months of non-stop practicing Not Afraid, I went to my friend, a producer named Pratik Shah, and I told him, hey, I want to record this song. So we did. And now it's garnered about 80 million views across social media.
boy, 80 million views and counting. And you shot the song in one go.
Yes, we shot the music video in one go through 3 different phones at the same time. So that's how we got the 3 different angles in the video.
And you've written originals too, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I have written around 55 songs since the age of 10, although a couple of them I'm still working on. Now, the astonishing thing is, only 4 of them have been released so far, and just one of those is my single, which is a song called There's Always Tomorrow. And that's why I really want to get my own songs out as soon as possible. And for that, I'll have to work on my debut original album, of course.
We are looking forward to seeing you sing those originals written by you. Your rapper name, Pure Rhythm, is quite intriguing. Why Pure Rhythm?
Yeah. So Pure Rhythm is a portmanteau or fusion of 2 words, pure and rhythm. I want to usher in a new generation of clean hip hop. So my name basically describes my commitment to keeping my music pure, which means no cursing or vulgarity or crass materialism. But I'm still all about the rhythm, so just because I keep it clean doesn't mean you shouldn't take me seriously. Because I'm here to change this game as it stands.
Right, and you've pioneered a sub-genre of music as well, Raga Rap. Again, an interesting coinage, I would say. How did the idea strike you, a fusion between Indian classical music and American hip-hop? You told us you've trained in both.
Yeah, so Raga Rap was born as I was trying to figure out how to play the chords for Not Afraid on the piano one day. And as I played them, they were just so uplifting to me, and just right then and there, I don't know, this moment of inspiration struck me, and I just started creating right then and there a Hindustani alap. But it wasn't based on any rag, just the chords. Nonetheless, at that moment, I knew that Indian classical music and American hip-hop would actually go really nice together. So the same pattern that I followed with my cover of Not Afraid, I ended up following on my entire cover album of Eminem's songs, which I released shortly after, called Tribute to Eminem. So in every song in that album, you'll hear some sort of alap or tarana or some sort of play on Indian classical music.
And what's the kind of response that Raga Rap has been getting?
To be quite honest with you, the response was originally mixed, since a lot of people on social media didn't know about Indian classical music. So I got some pretty ignorant comments on YouTube from those users. But as time passed and I began to develop this concept throughout the Tribute to Eminem album, people started to love it, and they saw the potential in Raga Rap as a genre that can completely change the way that we think about music. It still has a long way to go though, so I'm going to be working a lot more on creatively diversifying it in my future songs so that I can make a fine art out of this subgenre.
Sparsh, you are an enigma, considering that you've beaten the circumstances that you were born with and you are living with, and you are so accomplished at the same time. Do you have any low days?
Of course I do, yeah. I mean, we're all human, right? So who doesn't?
How do you revive your spirits?
These are the words of encouragement I give my friends when they're having bad days. I think that's the best way I can answer it. Life is full of hills and valleys. The deeper the valley, the higher the hill. Just know that whatever you're going through right now, it's going to be that much better on the other side when you overcome it. So please never lose faith. That's what I tell my friends. And whenever I'm going through a difficult time, I have to remind myself not to think about how terrible my situation is right now, but what I can learn from this situation so that I can benefit from it in the future. Because at the end of the day, I believe God's teaching me some sort of lesson through this difficult time. And once we become open to learn life's lessons, we can always revive our spirits in our darkest times.
You are a real-life hero, Sparsh. Who is your hero?
I appreciate that. Honestly, I just feel like whatever you see in me that makes you think I'm a hero, that's not me. I'm just a lantern, and the light you see is God through me. So first and foremost, my greatest hero is God. Without him, I wouldn't be here. And through my 17 years of life, he's taught me so much, and he's always been there when I need him. My second group of heroes are my family members. My mom, my dad, my little brother Anuj, who I call the angel of my life, my grandparents, and all my relatives. They've given me both my values, and they've always been my greatest support system. And without them, I would not be the person I am today in front of you. And finally, my third group of heroes are all my best friends, the ones who stuck with me through thick and thin and have always given me a place to belong, and that includes all of my fans. Because throughout my journey, they've given me so many blessings and love, and they've been there by my side whenever I've been going through a surgery or a fracture. They've always been there praying for me and giving me blessings. So to all of them, my family, friends, my fans, I love you all more than you can ever imagine. And I hope you know that.
You've been seesawing, Sparsh, between major surgeries and big performances. And in the middle of that, you've been doing your daily chores, you've been learning music, you've been attending classes as well. That's quite a bit. But what do you tell yourself before major surgeries? I tell myself the same advice that I told my friends, right? The deeper the valley, the higher the hill. Never lose faith in that. And throughout the entire process of recovery, to be very honest with you, I'm almost always praying and talking to God, because he's the one sustaining me through this difficult time and really just testing me at the end of the day. And through the test, he's purifying me, not just in silver, but not with silver, but in the furnace of affliction. And I accept it gladly, because I'm coming out stronger at the end of my surgery than I've ever been, not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually. And whenever I feel down, I play a song that lifts my spirits up. So music also carries me through this healing process of recovery, and it really does heal me. And what's your frame of mind ahead of a performance? Are you slightly nervous sometimes, or always raring to go?
Yeah, well, I've definitely exhibited symptoms of nervousness. For example, you know, when your heart beats fast and you start sweating before you're going to do something that you're nervous about. But I also know that the same chemical that our bodies release when we're nervous, which is adrenaline, that's the same chemical is released when we're also intensely excited. So really, stage fright is about mind over matter. As soon as you retranslate nervousness as excitement, your fear goes away. And this applies to any and every endeavor. And then I also pray before I go on stage too. Not only does it calm me down, but it also reminds me of my purpose. I'm not performing for myself, but to sparsh other people's hearts.
You're so flawless and energetic in your performances. Does that come out with practice?
Yeah, it definitely comes with practice. And I think the best, time and time again, you know, the best performances I've done are the ones that are practiced.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one must mention the fact that you don't forget the names of people that you come across. You have an elephant's memory. You are a spelling bee champion. You're a pie champion. And you can spell 12 longest English words in less than 18 seconds. Any demonstration that you would like to give to the millions watching you today?
Definitely. So yeah, I can demonstrate pie for you then. That, you know, I won't say anything. I'll just do it. 3.141592679323846268841971650288209494592375105820964062862008.
Boy, that's quite an achievement to remember it all, I must say. Congratulations to you, and I'm sure everyone listening now is floored. How was that moment, Sparsh, when you sang the national anthem at the Howdy Modi event in Houston with PM Modi around?
Yeah, that moment was one of the most breathtaking and incredible experiences of my life. I mean, not only did I get so much energy from the 50,000 people in the live audience at that moment, but I was really amazed and humbled to know towards the last minute that 2 billion people were watching the event live from all over the world via TV and the internet. I mean, that really gave me the utmost pride in both the countries that I call home, America and India, and being able to represent them is such an amazing blessing on my head.
You are not just incredibly talented, Sparsh, but you have a compassionate heart as well. You've raised over $1 million by performing pro bono for various non-profit organizations, for various causes that you've espoused for. Tell us about that instance when there was a child who had a similar disorder like yours, who was a little reluctant into going into operation. You spoke to him and he changed his mind and happily went into the operation theater.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I have done a lot of philanthropic work. I've gotten to, yes, perform for a lot of charity organizations pro bono, and I've also been the youth ambassador of a few organizations like the Voice of Specially Abled People, which helps people with special needs in India and everywhere else in the world. And so back to the story that you were talking about, the kid you mentioned had osteogenesis imperfecta, just like me, actually. And his name is Xavier. And one day, his family contacted me and my family through social media. And they told us that Xavier was about to undergo a surgery. And he was very, very nervous. So they wanted me to try and talk to him and encourage him. And I guess they felt that with my experience with a lot of surgeries, I could give some good words of wisdom to him. So very soon, we got on a FaceTime call, which went very well. And right before the surgery, his parents sent us a picture with Xavier smiling and giving a thumbs up in his surgery gown. He went through the surgery without any fear, and I'm really so proud of him for being so brave.
You are indeed touching lives, and I know for a fact that people have stopped short of committing suicide after watching your videos on social media. That's the kind of impact that you're having, Sparsh, and this is totally, totally commendable. Can we do a quick fire round with you?
Yeah, sure.
Your favorite singer?
My late great Dada Guruji, Sangit Martan Pandit Jasraj.
Your favorite song?
Amazing Grace.
Who do you idolize?
That's an interesting question. I don't necessarily idolize anyone because I believe, we're all human, but God and my family are my greatest role models and heroes.
Your favorite food?
Paneer bhurji with some garlic naan.
I'm salivating already. Your favorite book?
My favorite book. When I was really young, I was really into this book series called Spirit Animals. And actually, I haven't finished it until this day. But my brother is now getting into that series, so I'm rereading it with him.
Your most prized ambition?
I think that would... that's really difficult because I feel like I usually treat every performance with the same value, I feel like whether it's I'm singing for 100,000 or 100 or 1 billion people, I think the biggest blessing for me is being able to inspire and serve others with my music and my message. So for me, my most prized ambition is just being able to do that, being able to live this life and carry out my career at the age of 17. I hope it just goes to show that if I can fulfill my dreams at this young age, then anyone can.
That's your message going out to the whole world. Well, Sparsh, now the moment that everyone is waiting for. What is Sparsh singing for the millions watching him today?
Definitely. I have a couple of songs ready for you. And the first song is it's unpublished. So I'm going to make sure I get that out very soon.
It's exclusive then on Doordarshan, yes.
Yeah. For those of you who want to know the real artist, the person behind the Eminem covers, this is me. Now here I am through all the struggle, cleared my damn smolder rubble, rose up from the wounds that I took, these scouts so much boom you'll be shook, move around faster than a castling rook, shine I got slate through each cranny and nook, read that book cause I'm writing my pages, beats getting harder as I'm fighting these stages, moving the tears like they were moved by the ghost, stories are written but I pin with the most, been throughout the world on the coast to coast, never boast slow, never go slow, you won't make me learn or not yet I'm great, but I'm burning and friendly, got a lactic acid state, not for guitars but fires themselves, I'm calling my own bad that I won't sell, no someone like what I'm on fire, gets out of my cause it's got other things who settle but I clean up jump started the Raga Rap potter and poetry daughter music is my father cause this is only inception hip-hop's winning succession I'm here to help reclaim a lost kingdom faded in regression so here arrives the next heir to separate the wheat from the tare I'ma stay bold and I won't be scared but even at my height will remember my prayers ye are gods but ye shall die like men and though I'm not a king, my voice will still ring, a prince with the power of pen. So when the pages of history written, I will go for them down, take my wheels in the ground, so not even waves will have smitten me are gods, but ye shall die like men. So when the pages of history written, I will go for them down, dig my wheels in the ground, so not even waves will have smitten. Pure rhythm.
So that was fantastic, Sparsh, and हमारे हिंदी के दर्शक भी आपको देख रहे हैं, वो भी वेट कर रहे हैं आपके हिंदी के गाने का, तो क्या गाएंगे उनके लिए?
हाँ, हम गाएंगे एक गाना जो एक इवेंट था जो उसका नाम था इंडिया इंक्लूजन समिट वो उसका 2020 का थीम सॉन्ग था तो ये हम गाने वाले हैं A bird when it flies doesn't care about its size and airplanes even with their weight can soar across the skies from STEM to arts to sports we have traveled far even though they said we wouldn't make it do you know who we are मेरी काया के भेद कुछ अलग से है ना है गलत ना है सही कुदरत के इस इंतजाम का मैं हूँ वो खास तुम नहीं मिल भी जाए अगर एक जन्म और फिर जी दूंगा मैं उसे 100 बार आसमां के पार 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 आसमां के पार
Wow, wonderful as usual, a rocking performance. Thank you so much, Sparsh. You are a champion of hope, and may you continue to touch /Sparsh many more lives in the future. It was a pleasure to speak to you on Doordarshan and to hear you sing as well.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to speak to you too, Manmanji. And thank you, Doordarshan and everyone for having me.
That was singer, songwriter, rapper and motivational speaker Sparsh Shah speaking to us on In Conversation. Thanks for watching.